Hey everyone, it's Maydonna. I'm making this video to talk about something that I've been watching like a lot of videos of. Um, I know a lot of you are probably familiar with the TV show of Catfish, and they also have like a YouTube channel um, where a lot of people are getting scammed by these people from these other countries like Nigeria and just various other countries, India, China, wherever, and even some in the United States, and what they call like romantic scams and stuff like that. Um, it is mind blowing. Like I just been binge watching pretty much, and I'm like, oh my God, like for real. Like, you know, you would always hear stories of scam callers because that's how a lot of this stuff all began is with scam callers and stuff. And a lot of people fail. Like when they first started doing this stuff, uh, back in the 90s, around the late 90s, is when you really started hearing about the scam callers. And then when everybody was starting to get on the internet and everything, they would send emails and stuff. And a lot of people I knew fell victim to these scammers that claimed to be like Nigerian princes or whatever, and claimed that they had a lot of money, and all they needed was somebody to send them money to receive the money, that they were inheriting money, and they would have to send a fee in order to get the money, or there would be just various other scenarios where they would need you to send money in order to get money out of you, and that's what it was about. There was no jackpot at the end of the rainbow. um, so a lot of people got scammed on that. Well, then people started getting a little bit wiser, except for the elderly. Unfortunately, a lot of elderly people, even today, still fall victim to these scams, even though they've been around for a long time. Okay. Well, now they've gotten a little bit more advanced with it. My shoulder. I hurt my shoulder. Mm. Um, but anyway, they've gotten more advanced now to where now they can use AI voices and stuff like that, and they can call, or they can just use their own voice. And especially with the elderly, they can convince them um, that you've been kidnapped, like a family member's been kidnapped and you've got to send money, or they're in the hospital, they've been in a wreck, or they're in jail, you know, please go buy a gift card and, you know, read off the number from the back and give it to them and everything. And now it's even moved into the whole Bitcoin thing and all that. And it's just gotten crazy. And there's still a lot of people that fall victim to this because, they're scared. And especially when you suddenly hear someone say, "Hey, you're something's going bad with the family member." I mean, you know, but they say now the best thing to do is hang up and call, or call, even while you've got them on the phone. If you've got another phone or whatever, call or contact your loved one to make sure. Uh, but probably the best thing to do is just hang up on them and then try to contact your loved one, and see if you can find out what's going on. But do not give in, because if they really have kidnapped your loved one and they really want your money that bad, they'll call back regardless. And even if they're running a scam, they're probably going to try to call back. Um, but also another thing they do, and this is something we get phone calls from this all the time. It's where they're claiming they're either going to get you a loan or a medical insurance. Uh, they hear you need medical insurance or some crazy crap like that. Just hang up on them, or if you want to string them along, you can play games with them or whatever. Uh, I've done that. But anyway, so that's some of their tactics. But also, what they're doing now is at a lot of these romantic websites, like Plenty of Fish. I think it's still around, but there's a few other ones that are out there, um, where people are looking to connect online with other romantic partners or whatever. And so they're just waiting. I mean, these scammers are just waiting for you to create a profile so that they can start hitting you. And from what I'm seeing, I mean, they are really hitting people, and coming in with some bull mess about, oh, they're either in the military and they're off in some foreign country fighting a so-called war or conflict, or they've been kidnapped, or they're on an oil rig, or they're a doctor, or they're some kind of rich investor, or just stuff like that, and they're really roping people in. And they'll, what it is I think a lot of these people, they're lonely, for one thing. I mean, naturally they're lonely. If they're on these websites, they're looking for some kind of partner, of course. And so these scammers know this, and so they just wait to prey on them. And they'll start in with things like, oh, my queen, my beautiful, you're just so beautiful, you're the most prettiest thing I've seen on here. Um, they'll start in with stuff like that. And one of the dead giveaways, and I've noticed this while binge watching a lot of these videos, their main thing is to ask you, what did you eat for breakfast? Or what did you eat? Just stuff like that. And you're like, what? I mean, normally people don't. I mean, you might have a friend or two, or some family members that might say, "Hey, what'd you eat last night?" Or but to be on a dating website and they want to know what you ate last night, or just and my queen, just think there's just certain things that they say that just don't seem right. That a lot of people, the normal person doesn't normally say to someone that they're trying to romance. But then and some of them, they'll start out slow. Now some of them will hit them big, like boom, hey, I need $20,000. Hey, I need, but then some of them do the little slow game, and they'll hit them up. They'll just see. They'll test the waters and see. They'll come up with some excuse like, "Oh, I have a son, and oh, he's gone off to school, and I can't get to him because I'm off in another country, and he needs money for games." And that's another thing. Their children need money for video games. Yeah, okay, or cards for video games. That right there should be a big red flag. Um, but yeah, and their headmaster won't give them some sort. You need to talk to them and see if you can send money, or just stuff like that. And like I said, some of them, it'll start out with like a small amount, and then they just work their way up. Like they'll just keep sucking you dry. They'll just keep on and on and on and on, and there's always something. There's always some kind of trouble, or something that they're involved in, that they just need some money. They just and it don't matter that, even if you tell them, hey, I just paid my rent money to you, I don't have anything left, they'll still want money. They want more money. And I mean, that's what it's about. That's the name of the game. And if you think about it, with someone who wants to date you and wants to have a relationship with you, would they really want money from you? Because if that's the thing, if I was single, that is not what I would want. I mean, it's hard enough as it is out there. Why would you want a partner that immediately, or even slowly, before even meeting you, wants money from you? And then some of them will jerk them around. They'll say that they'll meet up with them, but then they'll never show up. They always got some excuse why they can't catch the plane, or they can't meet them, or they'll send them on a wild goose chase to their so-called house. They'll give them a fake address, or even, even if they give them a real address, they'll act like they can't come out or whatever. Uh, which a lot of times it's a fake address because they're not going to be stupid enough to give you their real address, really. Um, but and they love to use what they call, I think it's called VoIP numbers, where they're overseas, but then they'll get like a computerized number to where it appears as though it's a US number or Canadian number or something like that. And you'll think that this person is in the US when they're not. So people need to be wary of that. But yeah, I mean, you know, my warning to people is, you meet somebody online like that, if they start moving into the asking for money range, just drop them, like run. Do not feed into that, because they're just going to keep, wanting more and more money. And, I wouldn't want somebody that would have the audacity to do that, because that's something that would normally occur like after you marry somebody or in a deep relationship. Then you can understand maybe helping them pay bills, or helping them out. Then you can understand, because you're already trying to work towards a long-term thing, and you've met and you've spent time with this person, and you've really got to know this person. But if you don't know them and you've never met them, do not give them money. Don't do it. I don't care. I don't care if it starts out at $20. Do not give these people a dime, because they're scammers. They're scamming you. Even if they are in the US, if they start asking you for money, what kind of person does that? Think about it. What is their, they got some doggone nerve doing that. And I just wish people would understand that right from the very beginning of that, and realize that that's not a true romance right there, and it ain't worth pursuing. And I've even seen videos where the person would dump. Then these people are dumping their spouses. Like, some of them are married, and they're dumping their spouses because they're saying that their spouses were basically a burden on them, and were taking money from them or whatever. But then they're turning around and giving their money to spammers. They're giving it to these online people that they've never really met. Like, why would you trade one so-called bum for another? Like, use your common sense. Like, it's dumb. I mean, I just don't understand people. And then, like I said, some people let their own greed get in the way, because they'll get told, hey, if you send me $20,000, I'll double your money, or I promise I'll pay back that money. I'm good for it. And that little thing in their head, that greed thing, kicks in, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll make some money off of this, and they'll do it. And it's just like, oh my God. Don't let your greed take over with stuff like that. And don't be a mule. Don't let them trick you into letting them send you money. Because that's another thing that they'll do. They'll send people money that's not theirs, that's from another victim. They'll send them money to move to another account. Or to move to their account that this scammer now has access to, because that person is stupidly given the scammer, their bank information. So then they'll just go into that person's account and move the money to another person's account, and keep working it around till it gets to them. And they'll even put it in Bitcoin and all that mess, and till it makes its way to them in Africa or wherever they are. So they're going to live high on the hog, lavishly, with all this hard-earned American or Canadian or Australian or whatever money that you've worked hard for, that other people have worked hard for, and they're going to, steal that from us and live high on the hog in their country. Now, tell me that's right. That's horrible. So a lot of this stuff is going on, and it bothers me, which I know we can all fall victims of stuff. I mean, nobody is immune. There's always something that can catch anybody. Something could catch you off guard at the wrong time. I've accidentally clicked up back in the day when a lot of this stuff was new. Like, I've clicked on links and I've had issues, and I've had, you know, trouble with bank accounts and stuff like that from, clicking links or whatever, not realizing what's going on. And, you can run into issues with that. And even now, you can think that you're clicking on something, and, so we all have to be careful because nobody's perfect. And we can. So it's hard enough just trying to live your regular life and accidentally doing something. But then when you, what I would call stupidly, just keep letting someone take money from you, or you just give it to them, and everybody telling you, hey, this person's a scammer. And that's what's so bad is a lot of these people, especially on this website and these videos, they refuse to believe they're being scammed. Like, how many times does someone have to take money from you before you realize? Like, how many thousands of dollars, and how many nights do you have to go hungry, and how many homes do you have to lose, and vehicles and whatever, before you wake up to realize that that person is a scammer and that you're being scammed? And there's even people that believe that they're in a relationship with famous people like Johnny Depp or Jennifer Aniston or whatever. And it's like, really, really. And I mean, a lot of these people, they're, middle aged or older. What the heck? Which, I mean, I know Johnny Depp and Jennifer Aniston are my age or older. Actually older. But still, I mean, and even these younger stars, like, what would any of them really want with us? Like, unless they met us in person and then, decided, and then that, okay, it's for real. But the odds against that are pretty much zero anyway, because people in the industry like to be with other people in the industry or close to it, or somebody that they know, or is within somewhere within their circle, even if they're just a regular everyday Joe. It's someone that may have been introduced by someone that they know or whatever. These people don't normally like to go outside of that because, let's face it, when you're dealing with a regular public, you don't know what the heck you're getting into. Like, there's lots of levels of crazy out there. And yeah, I mean, it's not really worth uh, the risk a lot of times. So the odds of you know, getting in a serious relationship with Johnny Depp or with somebody, famous just from the internet is like zero. Like, let's be real. It's, I mean, don't get me wrong. They may even send something nice to a fan. They might say, hey, so and so, happy birthday, or, something like that. Just being nice, just being a nice celebrity or whatever. But don't take it for more than what it is. Like, you know, and if you go to a famous person's web, Instagram or whatever, and then this other person contacts you claiming to be them, if it's not from that actual official website, do not entertain that person because that person is a fake. If it's not directly coming from the official page, it is a scam. So do not respond to these people. I don't care how many times they say that they're Johnny Depp or Brad Pitt or whoever, whoever the latest actor, singer, whatever is. If it's not coming directly from the main source, do not believe it. Do not entertain these people because they're going to scam you. And I don't care how many pictures they use. I mean, whatever they put on, because they love to steal pictures and they love to even do AI crap. Do not believe this. I mean, just, but I mean, and I know here I am giving a speech to people, and as if I'm some kind of expert, and I'm not. Lord knows I'm not. But I'm just saying, I'm just I guess giving my opinion after watching all these videos and stuff. It's like I just personally want to give my own opinion and put this out there so that hopefully, maybe it will stop somebody from making those mistakes. And again, I say this being a flawed person myself, making mistakes online and whatever. Nobody's perfect because you don't know what the heck somebody's going to invent that is going to be out there and you won't know. And then you'll accidentally watch it or click on it or whatever and you know, get your whole life stolen. You don't never know. You don't know what people are up to and what kind of technology they're using. So, like I said, it's hard enough dealing with that just on a regular day to day situation. So, why in the world would you just intentionally, with all the warnings that are out there, all the videos, all the people that are talking, why would you intentionally step into something that would basically destroy your life or could destroy your life? So, you know, but anyway, I just, this is just something that I've noticed recently, and I just thought I would just put my opinion out there. So, anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.